If this virus could be beaten by round-the-clock, unrelenting care, then it would be done for.
This is hell. We cannot continue like this. We need to ask people to please contribute, stay home.
Exhausted medics and terrified patients gasping for life in sealed-off rooms have the same message for those of us lucky enough not to be here.
I am one of the persons, sometimes I was saying, this is not true, but no, it's true, it can kill you.
I do understand people want to get together, and see their relatives. This is the result.
It's all ages. They're my age or even younger than me, and there's older people.
Who've died of COVID?
Yes.
This is the epicentre of the COVID crisis, a place of miracles.
I cannot tell you how relieved we are, how happy we are, how thankful.
And unimaginable heartbreak.
We just all hope that we will live and come out of it. I do, anyway.
I just think it's staggering this has become a normal way to practice medicine. It just makes everything so much more difficult. And for awake patients, very, very scary.
When we first arrived in the Royal Free Hospital last Tuesday, intensive care consultant Mike Spiro was playing a losing game of bed spaces.
There is a limit to the critical care capacity in London. We're at a situation within the whole of London at the moment whereby we are having to consider transferring patients out long range. Yeah, we have to select very carefully who we move, because what we don't want to do is move someone and then deteriorate en route.
Yeah, and how far might they have to move?
At the moment we're looking at the Midlands.
The title Royal was granted to the Free Hospital by Queen Victoria for its fight against the cholera epidemic in the 1800s. Now nearly every floor of this 12-storey building is treating patients with COVID.
He could go into one of the high-vis side rooms if
we've got space down the end, which
okay,
it's
fine.
He'll be monitored anyway.
Fine.
The operations room records 307 positive patients on site. Over a quarter, more than 80 of them, are on ventilators.
Pressure control, we brought it down from 18 to 16 because I think he's waking up, so the tidal volumes are too high. Actually, we could bring it down now.
In normal times, this room would be a recovery ward for surgery patients. It's been adapted. They've doubled the bed numbers, and each specialist ITU nurse, such as Nicolas, used to offering one-to-one care, now has at least 3 patients under their watch.
I feel like I want to cry in many moments. I mean, I can't do my job properly.
What's been the toughest thing for you?
Well, basically, I mean, lots of people are passing away, and you have to keep doing your job when you have a gentleman or a lady that is passed away and is lying next to you, and basically we just need to keep going and wait for somebody else to come and take care of that, and it's horrible.
My biggest worry is whether we've got enough staff to get through the next 24 hours, the next 48 hours, and I think that's the thing that keeps me awake at night. This week we've had the army in.
Yes, I saw the army had arrived.
That's right, yes.
So that's a help.
Oh, it's a huge help, actually.
Everyone is mucking in. If not army medics, it's medical students, even surgeons acting as nurses. Lucy Barker, a consultant from Moorfields Eye Hospital, now clearing airways. Next to her, Evelyn and Patricia, 2 therapists who'd normally work with special needs children in the community, now putting mittens on a 41-year-old COVID patient to stop her pulling at the tubes.
Thank you so much for helping.
Add to that specialists from every corner of the hospital offering their expertise.
Everyone has a role to play because COVID is a multi-system disease. We see kidney issues, we see liver issues, we see clots, and we see heart attacks. And apart from the devastating effect it can have on the lung.
Then there's another type of care, for those desperate to be at the bedside. On the 4th floor, medical student Helen spends all day FaceTiming patients' families.
So you're literally kind of going from patient to patient,
Yeah,
the ones who are conscious at least. And
no, even if they're
even if they're not conscious?
Yeah.
But this was a special moment. The first time Nicolas Ursachi responded to his loved ones since early December.
How long has he been in intensive care?
He's been more than 40 days, from the 6th of December till now.
Yeah, that must be a very traumatic time for your family.
Yes, but we never lost hope. We just prayed, we thank God, and we prayed again. He's a miracle. We just thank to God.
No more feedback or high flow unless required.
So he's not short of breath or anything?
It feels much better, not breathless at the moment.
On the 8th floor, a step down from intensive care, Sidali Yusufi is slowly becoming less dependent on the equipment that's helping him to breathe.
This is a massive improvement over the last 4 days. I'm really, really
Exactly,
pleased.
yeah, I appreciate it. It's the end of the world, apocalypse. Yeah. Honestly, it's the apocalypse. Can't breathe. Yeah. You feel very cold in the brain. Very cold and freezing. Yeah. And a lot of panic. Yeah. A lot of panic. I was feeling that's it, it's the end. This is really serious. You have to take it serious. I am one of the person who ignored all the message, unless sometimes I was saying, this is not true, but no, it's true, can kill you.
In the basement of the hospital, patients are looked after with the same care as they were upstairs.
We care for patients. They're patients. They're not, they're still patients. We treat them as they are.
But these are the ones who didn't make it.
There is no pacemaker. There is nothing on the face or ears. It's a bit, heartbreaking coming every day to do this and still have people telling to your face that this is not real or that this is the flu.
When you open these fridge doors sometimes you must see some quite young faces as well.
Yes, definitely. It's all ages, really. Like we have patients that they're my age or even younger than me, and there's older people
who've died of COVID.
Yes.
And that must shock you when you see that.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Sometimes it's the hardest. I think it's when you see someone that maybe reminds you of somebody else that you know, or a familiar name, or a familiar age. You think automatically about your family or your friends.
A red asterisk marks the patients with COVID, and this is by nearly every name. Laura too has noticed a change in the people coming here.
The first time were definitely older patients, but it seems more varied this time. It seems to be a much wider age group of patient that we're getting into our care. It's more sort of patients in their 50s and 60s that we're seeing this time, rather than patients in their 70s, 80s, 90s like we were the first time.
At Barnet, the Royal Free Sister Hospital, COVID intake is double that of the first wave, and the average age coming in is 59, a decade younger than first time round. Here we meet 73-year-old Tony Brown, a key worker, lorry driver, who delivered bread and is now precariously ill.
How are you feeling?
Absolute terrible. If people would have taken a lot more care when this come out and then ignored it, we wouldn't be in such a mess. Very bad nights, very worrying nights. Twice I went to ring your wife, tell her I weren't coming.
What's your wife's name?
Linda. I miss her.
When was the last time you saw Linda?
Over 2 weeks ago.
Linda allowed us to broadcast this interview, which took place on Thursday.
I really miss.
That is one of the hardest things, I'm sure, not being able to see your wife.
I hope to one day. Hopefully I will. It's all I want now. I don't want anything else in life.
I'm sad to tell you, Tony didn't make it. He died on Friday night.
I'm sorry.
Behind glass and warning tape, medics in masks and gowns are the only company for those fighting quiet, terrifying battles against a virus that in the UK has taken nearly 100,000 lives.